Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Well, hello everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. We're going to talk about Crown Jewel and Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory. There wasn't any? Is it cold though?
You should have come from when you had it before.
It's okay.
I don't know why not the refrigerator.
I should have refilled my ice things up. And then my little cubies.
Oh, yeah.
I think I still got one in there. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, y'all. The weird sound is just my ice. I had bought one from Temu so I could put it in my cup. And it's a little difficult. But anyways, I gotta have some ice water because ass thirsty. Okay. Now look, I watched Crown Jewel, not on the first play because look, I wasn't getting up at no 8 o'clock in the morning. I just wasn't. But I watched it. My mama watched it. And it was my mama's birthday this weekend. So we were spending all our time with her and my family. So I didn't get to have my full attention on Crown Jewel, but it was a solid show from what I saw and from what I heard. Everybody that watched it was happy. Even WWE haters loved Crown Jewel. So I'm glad WWE was able to redeem themselves from WrestlePalooza because the redemption was needed. But let's talk about Crown Jewel and where this leads us going into Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. Okay. Make sure I got all the ice out. Okay. I think I got them all out. Probably missing one. All right. So we're not going to go in any particular order when it comes to Crown Jewel. We're going to start off with John Cena and AJ Styles, okay? So Johnny Boy And AJ decided to put on an instant classic for all of us. It was a tearjerker, of course, because not only do we know that AJ Styles is retiring next year, we know this is one of Cena's last matches. He only has 4 more dates left. And it's a little sad, especially if you're a major John Cena fan. But the one thing the boys were able to do was to put on a banger of a match and have a great time doing it. AJ Styles paid homage to the Pro Wrestling Magazine when he was the top boy in TNA and John Cena was the top guy in WWE. And that year in the Pro Wrestling Magazine, they had AJ Styles in his OG shorts gear and John Cena in his classic jorts gear. Okay. So they both decided, well, John Cena always wears that gear, but AJ Styles decided to pay homage to that and wear his OG gear to the ring. Now, they had a instant classic match that most people are going to be able to look back on and say I was there. I love that match. It's my favorite. It's going to be a callback match that everybody talks about in this man's retirement. Now, John Cena and AJ Styles both utilize moves from people that they've wrestled, admired, and respected. John Cena uses the Miz's mic drop, I believe he calls it. Is that what he calls it? What does the Miz call his finisher? Is it Skull Crusher Finale or is it the mic drop? It's the Skull Crusher Finale? Skull Crusher Finale. My bad, Miz. You know I love you. Anyway, he used the Skull Crusher Finale. He even got to use the Sister Abigail, and they brought out all the fireflies, and it was so emotional. I know that a lot of people saw that and cried because I know for a fact if Bray Wyatt was still alive, he would probably be one of, if not the last person to wrestle John Cena because John Cena unabashedly respected Bray Wyatt. He loved his creativity and he loved how big he thought in terms of wrestling. He loved how outside of the box he thought. And John Cena definitely would have given that torch to Bray Wyatt if he had the chance to do so. And it's unfortunate that Bray Wyatt is no longer here, but no matter what, he's left a mark on everyone. And we all get to witness people paying homage to him, respecting him every day, from people like Bliss and John Cena using his move. It's just, and his brother, Bo Dallas using his move. It was a big moment in that match, and all of Australia had their fireflies out, and all you could see in the crowd was just a sea of lights. It was a gnarly moment. And John Cena just took a minute in the middle of the match. He looked up, paid his respects, and then he kept going. Okay, we got to see stuff from, people using Randy Orton's move just all over the map. These guys beat the hell out of each other. But ultimately, John Cena was able to pick up the win. The best part about this match was before it started, when John Cena gave Alicia a special introduction for AJ Styles. It was awesome. The two men hugged it out at the end and gave each other their respects, and they cried a little bit. And I know this is going to be an emotional time for AJ Styles because next year it's his turn to retire. And he's made that very clear that is going to be his last year wrestling. Oh boy. Now, let's play a little round robin. The show actually kicked off with these two, if I recall. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Roman Reigns faced off against Bronson Reed in a street fight. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I watched this. I didn't. I kind of had an idea of how this was going to go down. And to be fair, I was partially right. Bron Breakker came out there to help Bronson Reed pick up the win. And he did. I knew it was coming. I saw it the moment that Bron Breakker wasn't there Monday. I knew he was already in Sydney waiting. I just knew it. And he was probably a part of the press for the Sydney press before they got there. And he was just waiting because he was going to be involved in this match. And I was right. The Usos also got involved inadvertently. Jay speared Roman in through the table, which allowed Bronson Reed to be able to pick up the W as well. This led to a back and forth that was mic'd. The ring was mic'd, the camera was mic'd, and we heard what Roman said to his cousins. He told them both that he loved them, but everybody thinks that he can't do these things on his own. He said it's not like how it was last time. Things are different. The time is different. We cannot go about this the way you think. There's only one way to do this. And he said, I love y'all. And I want you to understand that I love both of y'all. But I don't want to see y'all until Christmas. And then he got out the ring. Now, I don't know what this means for Jey Uso and Jimmy. But quite frankly, this is very messy and convoluted. And it didn't have to be. One thing about it that Roman was right about is that times have changed. Jey Uso is in a totally different space in his life. And to have him revert back to being a minion is crazy when he himself has held championship gold outside of tag team contingency. And then for you to bring Jimmy in and to just have him fall in line as a lackey again, that also doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I was totally against Jay listening to Roman Reigns, but a part of me understood what Roman was really trying to tell him. In so many words, Roman is trying to tell him, you got to go about this like this title is all that you need and it's all that you want. You have to eat, sleep, and breathe this championship. Now, helping other people is only going to get you two things: beat down and a target. Whereas going for what you want, it might be selfish. It may come across as mean and cruel, but your ass ain't getting your ass whooped every week. Okay? But the flip side about that is you also make yourself into an enemy in that locker room. And the vision will continue to prosper while you're still going after a championship that you will not be able to acquire because the vision has it. Okay? So, either way, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't, Jay. The whole point is you cannot be Roman. You have to be Jey Uso. And if Jey Uso is a person who cares, there's nothing wrong with that. Be who you are. Like the gays, the we, theys, and them say, be who you are for your pride. Do that. You ain't got to go about it in Roman's way, but you can do it the Yeet way. And as for you, Jimmy, you're going to have to find your own path here, baby. Because your brother is on a path of his own. And unfortunately, that path does not lead to the tag team titles. You, on the other hand, have an opportunity to rebuild yourself in your own image. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose your brother in the process, but you are going to gain some heavy, heavy weight in the process. Weight in gold, if you will. Okay? We're going to move on. Okay? Dang, they're not going to see him for Thanksgiving? He said Christmas. Baby, that's what he said.
I don't know.
You didn't see it? You didn't see the clip I sent you?
Mm-mm.
Oh, baby, he said he didn't want to see them till Christmas, honey. He said Christmas. He don't even want to see him Thanksgiving. I mean, to be fair, Thanksgiving is the holiday that you can decide if you want to do Friendsgiving or a family Thanksgiving. Okay, Christmas is usually for family. You know, Christmas is usually when everybody gets together. But Thanksgiving, you can decide if you want to be with the fam or if you just want to have your friends over and everybody cook something. But see, in my friend group, okay, I got like 2 friend groups, and some of my friend groups can't cook. Some of my friends, I love y'all. Don't y'all yell at me. But some of my friends in my friend group can't cook, and so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do no Friendsgiving with y'all. I'm just not. Child, don't nobody do nothing for Halloween. Let's go to Io, Rhea, Oscar, and Kyrie Sane. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I didn't get to see this match, but I got to see a few highlights. I know that Asuka started berating Io Sky, slapping her a lot in the match, and Io just lost it and started going off on Asuka. Ultimately, Io and Rhea did win this match. It was clean. They both won. And Rhea Ripley got a nice birthday present. At the end, in the back, Io gave Rhea fairy toast. It was fairy bread for her birthday. She sang happy birthday to her friend, and they stood there eating their fairy toast. If you don't know what fairy toast is, it is buttered bread. It's buttered bread with hundreds and thousands on it. Hundreds and thousands are the little round beaded um sprinkles, which I hate them sprinkles. They get caught in your teeth. They're hard as rocks. I hate hundreds and thousands. I hate them so much. But that's what she gave Rhea for her birthday, and that's a common uh dish or little treat that kids eat in Australia, and it's a nostalgic thing for adults, obviously. So happy birthday or happy belated birthday to Rhea Ripley, and congrats to Rhea and Io on their win. I don't know where this is going to lead them, but obviously it's going to lead them to facing off against each other one more time because one of them has to be able to face off against Stephanie for that championship. Speaking of championships, Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer finally had their battle, which a lot of people said was a very good matchup. The two women went in with very, very high hopes and, of course, a strong sense of entitlement on both sides. You see, Tiffany was undefeated, and she obviously had all the confidence in the world that she could beat La Primera. And La Primera has a new champion, a new chip on her shoulder, and obviously, again, all the confidence in the world. Why? Because she is La Primera. Okay? But Tiffany Stratton was the one to fall on the sword this time. She did not best La Primera. La Primera defeated her undefeated streak. She is no longer undefeated. And we love that for us. Now, what I heard is that the crowd was incredibly quiet during this match. Not quite sure why. From what I saw, Australia loves Tiffany Stratton, but they weren't exactly hype about the match. But Tiffany Stratton hit Stephanie with a gnarly Alabama slammer, where she bounced off of that mat. Her head hit that mat pretty hard. But Stephanie was able to rebound and continue to compete in the match, and she won the second Crown Jewel Championship. She is now a Crown Jewel champion right after the inaugural champion, Liv Morgan. So she got her ring and she got to hold that gigantic ass belt. It's huge. And all is right in the world, at least for now. Don't know what's next for Tiffany Stratton, but I do know that that woman needs to drop that belt ASAP. Who she's going to drop it to is totally up to the powers that be. But for now, the girls put on a stellar match. Then we come to the final match of the night. Oh. In this match, from the time Seth Rollins announced that he had to beat Cody Rhodes, up until now, he's been moping, sulking, and acting as if he couldn't beat him. And then, even at the kickoff, he didn't speak. He stared at that watch consistently and just walked away. I knew then that Seth Rollins was going to beat this man in one of the most bullshit ways. And I'll be damned if I was right. So take notes. The next time Seth Rollins does this bullshit, it more than likely is a ploy or a trick. It's been happening a little too often for my liking, from the faking of the injury to the faking of the crutches to the cashing in of the money in the bank to now. It's been happening a lot. This is a lot for one person in 1 year. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you how it happened in case you didn't see it. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes both were beating the hell out of each other. Cody Rhodes hit Seth Rollins with a super Cody cutter. Rather, it was a super crossroads. Sorry. That didn't keep him down. He was able to kick out. Now, there was some back and forth between them, and then it got to the part where the referee had to, get out of the way for some reason. I can't remember why. But Cody had Seth ready for another crossroads. Seth had the damn watch, and he hit Cody in the face with the watch. Cody gets knocked out, and Seth knew it was going to take more than just this watch to take out Cody. So he hit him with not one curb stomp, but then he hit him with a super curb stomp off the second or third, off the top rope or second rope. I'm not sure. But he hits him with this curb stomp twice, and then it's over. He finally wins. And all of a sudden, he's happy again. Mouth is all open, wide. You see them little tiny ass teeth he has, and he's just screaming and hollering. It fits like a glove. It fits like a glove. Triple H comes out, holds his arm up, gives him the title. He's screaming, running around, having the best time of his life. Right? Stephanie comes out there because she also won her championship. And instead of focusing on what he has and what he's doing, he warns Stephanie that his wife is coming for her title. So, everybody that watched this said this was the right finish. That it still protects Cody because technically Seth still can't beat him without cheating. And then 2, they can revisit it down the road. I'm going to say this. I wanted it to be the other way around because I wanted the down in despair and dumps Seth Rollins. I'll explain that when I post the analysis this week because I am going to post it this week. But I really wanted to see that because I felt like it is something that Seth has to earn, not necessarily be given. Seth has been a golden boy for a very long time. And every time he doesn't get his way, he cries and moans and bitches about how he's always been the guy. But he's never really had to earn anything except for our respect. And he doesn't. Every time he gets it just a little bit, he finds some kind of way to fuck it up. Every single time. Again, we'll go over that at a later date. But for now, Seth Rollins is your crown jewel champion. Seth now gets to go on to Monday Night Raw, cheesing and happy and telling everybody he told them so and blah, 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 blah. But his next opponent, his next mountain is still around the corner. And it is CM Punk. And while Cody might just be a one-off thing for right now, even if Seth beats CM Punk at the next PLE, which is expected to be Saturday Night Main Event on November 1st, there is not going to be an end to this madness. I have a sneaking suspicion from what I've been hearing on the dirt sheets that Austin Theory is coming back. And Austin Theory is about to be put in the vision. He's going to be his ace in the hole once again. And this is going to be the beginning of War Games. Saturday Night Main Event, November 1st. Remember that I told you this. Remember that. However it happens is how it happens, but just remember that I told you this. You know what I'm saying? Quick break. We'll be right back. Bound for Glory is coming up next.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't deserve this.
righty. Now, let's get into Bound for Glory. So, on the kickoff, I believe it was during the countdown of Bound for Glory, they did do the Hall of Fame ceremony, to which Mickie James was giving her Hall of Fame speech through Lisa Von Marie, who you also know as Victoria, if I recall, over in WWE. But her real name is Lisa Von Marie. And then we also had the beautiful people inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. These were your only inductees into the TNA Hall of Fame. It was all women, which we love that for us. Okay, we love that for us. Now I got the stuff I want to talk about. Oh, no, it's the right one. Okay. Anyways, Bound for Glory was a fun show. If you missed it, you missed out on something stellar. It was so good. Let me help y'all out. Now on the countdown, there were a few matches and I didn't get to see them, but in total fairness, I will tell you about those matches as well. So just give me 1 second. Because I don't know. I forgot that I thought it was coming on at 8. I didn't know it was coming on at 7. So I missed the first couple of matches for Bound for Glory. So I was upset. I was so mad at myself. But let me see if I can get the results pulled up for the countdown show, because that's the one that I missed. I didn't get to see the countdown show. I saw everything else. Hold on. They had a record-setting 7,709 people for 794 people for Bound for Glory, and it was record-setting for that arena for them to have it in. So that was pretty cool. And they were pretty rambunctious in there. It was a good time. Any whoosies. So the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships were on the line on the countdown show. The Inspiration went up against the Elegance brand, and the Inspiration did beat the Elegance brand. Shout out to y'all for retaining your tag team championships. Frankie Kazarian went up against Steve Maclin for the TNA International Championship. Steve Maclin got his title back from Frankie Kazarian, and he now is a 2-time TNA International Champion, and I love that for him because Frankie Kazarian shouldn't have had it in the first place. The match I came in on was Gia Miller's match with Tessa Blanchard, the racist. For whatever reason, her ass was out there with glitter in her hair and looking like a whole weirdo with her long chinned ass. Gia Miller looked absolutely stunning. Her gear, everything was polished. It was flawless. I will say this match was just a little wonky, but given the fact that Gia Miller is not a wrestler, at least not in the TNA, and she hasn't been wrestling, I'm sure she had a little bit of ring rust here from what I saw, but for the most part, she held her own. And whether you like the racist or not, she is one of the best women's wrestlers in the industry. And she's not a bad wrestler at all. I just wish she was a better person, but she isn't, and that's her fault. Anyways, so going up against Gia Miller, having Gia go up against Tessa obviously was a severe mismatch, but Gia Miller matched energies with Tessa. The only thing, the finish of this match was some bullshit. Tessa Blanchard cheated, which is just like, it just makes it so fucking cheap. And I'm just like, the girl didn't even care about winning the match. So at this point, beating her would have been fine. It would have been over, but you got your ass kicked, right? But it was just like you had to cheat. You just had to cheat. And it was like she pulled a number from her dad's playbook. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the MAGA playbook has a lot of bullshit cheating aspects. Raggedy bitch. I don't like her. Hi, Nicole. Hey. Okay. So let's get into it. Like I said, Tessa Blanchard, she beat Gia Miller. Good for her, I guess. Now, look, I didn't watch this match. I'm not going to lie. I went to the bathroom. I just did not want to see the Dudley Boys facing off against Matt and Jeff. When I came back, Devon was already down. And in this match, the rules state that both members of the team have to go through the table. So I assumed that he went through that double table off of the ladder when they were in the walkway, babe. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see it?
No, I'm not sure how D-Ron went through the table.
I feel like he went through that table in the walkway because I didn't.
That's my fault. I really didn't care about that match. So I wasn't betting that.
I didn't see it, and I had to use the bathroom, so I'm sorry, but I didn't get to see that. But I saw that the table had been destroyed, and I'm like, he must have went there. Okay, Nicole said he did. She said he did. She said he went through the table that was in the walkway when they came down off of that ladder.
That was the tables that the Dudley Boys initially set up when they came
out.
The
Dudley Boys set up the double tables out there.
When they first came out.
Got it. Okay. Because I was in the bathroom when the Dudley Boys came out. I came out. I wasn't out there when the Dudley Boys came. Yes, I was. I was in here. I just didn't see them set up the tables.
Yeah, they set the tables out when they first walked out.
But anyways, the end was probably the best part. Bubba Ray basically just turned around and was just like, finish it. And they were like, what are you doing? Like, they both had chairs. And they were standing there. Jeff and Matt were standing there looking at Devon. And he's like almost about to be on the verge of tears. You know what I'm saying? And they picked him up and they put him through the table. They put him out of his misery. The match is over. And then the boys got up. They shook hands. They hugged. They were crying. And then Devon and Bubba took off their boots. And instead of leaving them in the ring, they gave their boots to Matt and Jeff. And then they gave their formidable foes a hug and they walked out. It's been a lot of crying and a lot of emotions in wrestling the last couple of days. And I'm going to need y'all to pick shit up so I can start being mad. Okay? And we're about to get there in a minute when I mention the next match. Nicole said Jeff did a swanton off of a ladder and put him through the table. That's how he went through the table. Okay. Now, let me tell y'all something. This fucking match was everything I thought it was going to be. And I'm glad I paid the $39.99 to watch this because this was fucking awesome. But where they messed up was they brought Dark State's ass in there and they screwed Javon again. This is the 5th time that boy has been in a match and he had almost had it won and he gets screwed over. I don't even understand the reason behind it. So I'm going to tell y'all how it happened. I can't even tell y'all the way that this match went because it was going so fast. The two of them were going back and forth all fucking night. It was insane. Okay, it was insane. They ended up fighting outside of the ring, and the match hit the 20-minute limit. On PLEs, the matches are 20-minute limits. They can't go beyond that. So, because of that, they got basically, a no contest because both of them were outside of the ring, double count out, match is over. The fans were livid. They were screaming, let them fight. Let them fight. They went to the president of TNA. He's just sitting there. I'm convinced that man is a mute. Because he's just sitting there. He has nothing to say. Santino's music hits. He comes out and he tells them, we're not going to end it like that. Let these guys have 5 more minutes. We didn't even get the full 5 minutes. You want to know why? Because when Javon finally got Leon Slater on his back down and was getting counted, possibly about to win the title. The lights go out. And Dark State pops up, go in the ring and attack both of them. Match ends in a disqualification. That's how they ended the match. That's how they ended it. That pissed me off. Now, if Javon had a loss to Leon Slater and then they came and attacked, I probably wouldn't be so mad. But because that boy had Leon Slater pinned 1, 2, 3, and them damn Dark State bitches came in there and attacked both of them, it's craziness. Because what are you doing? Your ass should have been attacking the Hardy Boys. They're the ones who got your championship. It's ass backwardness for me. It's the stupidity for me. But I know what they're doing. They setting this shit up so these two can go at it again, but it's gonna be at a later date. These two motherfuckers probably gonna end up teaming up, grabbing Hank and Tank, and having an 8-man tag team match at Halloween Heavy. But I don't want to see that shit. Okay? I don't want to see that. I want the match I paid for. I paid for an ending, and I did not get one. So I was very pissed off. Okay? Tommy Dreamer, I know your bitch ass had something to do with it. Something in my spirit just tells me your dumb ass did this. Y'all don't understand how angry I was. I was so mad because this was the match of the night. This was the match of the night. Argue with your mother. I don't care. This was the match of the night. It was incredible. I don't care what you're doing. Go on YouTube and watch the highlights of this match specifically. It's going to make you want to pay the $40 just to see that match. I promise you. And y'all know I would never steer you wrong. Y'all know I wouldn't. Let's go to the next one. Order 4 faced off against the System in a hardcore war. Gotta say, I was highly entertained in this match. But bitch, let me tell you something. Moose slipping on that damn chair was the highlight of my night. And I posted an edit of this. And it just made me think about my friend Trey D. And I was just like, Trey D would fucking love this. He would be living for this. Okay? But shout out to you, Trey D. We miss you. We love you. Anyways, in this match, it was brutal. The girls was taking bumps, getting their asses handed to them. Tasha Steelz got a staple in her ass. She ended up getting smacked with a barbed wire kendo stick. But Alicia Edwards, that smoker throat bitch is crazy because she poured out thumbtacks. Thought she was going to be getting her shit together. Agent Zero comes in there, picks her up by the throat, and slams her on these thumbtacks. And this is not fake because when that bitch rolled over, all you saw was her back imprinted with thumbtacks. Now, Mustafa goes in the ring and decides he wants to hit a 450 on Alicia. Okay? Alicia's laid out, down and out. I'm screaming, get your ass out the way. Mustafa goes to the top, hits that 450, and lands body first, chest first, face first in nothing but fucking thumbtacks. When I tell you that this match was everything they wanted it to be and then some, it really was. It was a good match. Eddie Edwards is the hometown boy here, okay? And Eddie Edwards came out there. He wrapped his knee in barbed wire and took out Mustafa Ali. And it was 1, 2, 3. The System is the dominant faction in TNA. Now listen, the match was good. It was a good match. I knew from the moment Order 4 won the advantage that they were going to lose. It happens every time. Okay? But it was a good match. Highly recommended if you want to see some carnage. Because it was definitely carnage. But Alicia Edwards is the MVP in this match. And if that girl don't get a raise and a good vacation package and a massage and deep tissue it, because she rightfully earned it. Okay? Ciao. Hello, Tyler. How are you? This match was crazy, and it was well worth the watch. If you haven't seen it, Go watch it because it's worth it. Now, oh, thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you subscribing. Hi, Janelle. How are you? I go live every week, 3 times a week, man. So you come over here. We're going to talk about wrestling like we always do. My least favorite match of the night definitely was a TNA Knockouts Championship. It wasn't as fun or as exciting as the other matches. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't as fun or exciting. I felt bad for Indy. I felt like Indy should have won that match. It's no shade to Kaylani, but I just don't think she should keep the title. There's no reason for her to keep it. Kaylani's not even a TNA girl. And quite frankly, TNA has had enough of NXT coming in and taking their titles when nobody in TNA is coming in and taking theirs. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's from TNA is going to NXT stealing their championships. The championships are only changing hands one way. Okay. So I'm low-key disappointed. And I felt bad for Indy because she suffered that loss in front of her family and friends. So this was a bad move in my opinion. But they wanted to keep that title on Kaylani. I don't really understand why, but they are. So we shall see how it all goes down. If I had to give it a rating, I would say that the match was a B minus. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Was it watchable? Yes. Is it something that you must see? No, it's not. But Kaylani did do what she always does. She rose to the occasion. It looked like Indy Hartwell was a little gassed toward the end of the match, but overall, they did do a good job. It just wasn't as exciting to watch as the other matches. Sorry. Eddie better pick up the stack for a couple of weeks just for that bump. Okay. That lady was putting in work. I'm doing good, Jonelle. Thanks for asking. Indy Hartwell, she was in Hog after this paper. She went to Hog after this. I would have went home. But isn't she champion? Isn't she champion over there? Anyways, did you take your medicine? You haven't taken it nighttime yet?
No.
Okay. So we got one more match to talk. Well, 2 more. Let's talk about the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Okay. She is a champion in Hog. Okay. That's fine. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet match was interesting. So I'm going to tell you guys who was in the match by how it started. Xia Brookside was unable to compete due to illness. So Lei Ying Lee and Mara Sade began the match, and they actually did really well. Ryan Nemeth came in at number 3. Nick Nemeth came in at number 4. Cedric Alexander came in at number 5. Rich Swann of First Class came in at number 6. And then AJ Francis came in at number 7. AJ Francis took out Sade and Lee by himself. And then he took out Rich Swann over the top rope. Sinner and Saint, they flipped a coin to see who would enter the match at number 8, and it was won by one half of Sinner and Saint. His name is Travis Williams. The content creator BDE came in at number 9. He did exceptionally well. I just didn't know who the hell he was. And then all 3 members of the Rascals counted as one entrant at number 10, and that was Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Myron Reed. BDE and the Rascals, they got together and defeated AJ Francis. Danny Luna came in at number 11. Eric Young came in at number 12. Danny Luna was going off when she came in there. She made Intergender Wrestling look so much fun. I would love to see a match between her and possibly Trey or Zachary. I just think that would look, because they're going to sell her moves really, really well. You know what I mean? I would even give it to Myron Reed because I feel like they would just sell her moves really, really well. So would Eric Young, if I'm being fair. So I wouldn't mind her being in the intergender match. I think that would be fun. Anyways, Eric Young came in at number 7. Young goes low on Williams and then hits him with a pile driver, and that's how he got eliminated. Unfortunately. Eric Young eliminated BDE. And Jake Something entered at the number 13. Rosemary came in at 14. Miguel and Alexander were both eliminated. The hometown man came in at 15. Rosemary missed it, Jake Something, by accident, and he got eliminated by the hometown man. Guido came out there with Zach Clayton. He entered at number 16. Danny Luna eliminated Rosemary, and then hometown man eliminated Danny Luna. Jody Threat came out at 17, but Frankie Kazarian took her out with a nasty clothesline, and then he took her place, to which Santino Marella, he literally ended up slapping Santino Marella to put him in the gauntlet. Santino Marella then hit Kazarian with the Cobra, and Marella then got into the match, but was immediately eliminated by Nick Nemeth. Matt Cardona came in at 19. Cardona eliminated Clayton. And then the final entrant was Mance Warner, and he had the weirdest entrance of all of them. It was a whole bunch of dead zombies around them. Him and his girlfriend were kissing, and all this red shit was all over their mouths. It was so fucking gross. Anyways, Cardona eliminated Eric Young and Mance Warner, and then Nick inadvertently super kicked his brother to eliminate Ryan Nemeth. And then Warner dragged Cardona over the top rope after Steph was trying to, attack him in the match. And this led Kazarian to come in after he was never eliminated. And this led to the final match between Nick Nemeth and Kazarian. Both men pin each other with a roll-up, and then the referees both believe that one man won the match and the other man won the match. So Santino Marella decided to deem it that it was a dual win, meaning that both men are the current winners of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. This will come into play later on in this last match. They're arguing over who won and who had the trophy, and essentially they both won, okay? Which sucked ass, but they both won. Final match, ladies and gentlemen, was Mike Santana versus Trick Williams for the TNA Championship. Hold tight. Let me get to the comments. Indy, she was fighting against Zeta Steel. Oh, well, that's cool. Look, BDE is champion in a different pro wrestling company. Didn't know that. I didn't know who BDE was. I don't watch any other wrestling company outside of WWE, AEW, on occasion MLW. Sometimes I get the news of the other wrestlers, but I don't know who he is. So I have no ill will towards him. It's no disrespect. I just don't know who he is. So doesn't mean that he isn't good at what he does. He did well in the match. It's just I don't know who he is. All right. So let's talk about this match with Trick Williams and Mike Santana. It was a little touch and go there for Mike Santana, but he was able to pull out the win in the end. Mike Santana faced off against Trick Williams, to which Trick Williams decided to antagonize Santana before the match even started, and the two men began to fight. This led to Mike Santana being busted open, and then when they finally got back to the ring, the match began. Now, the two of them were fighting all over this arena. They were battling in this ring, and Mike Santana is just pouring blood from his head this whole time. Meanwhile, his daughter is sitting ringside, and Trick Williams decides to taunt her, to which he ends up suffering a slap for which he rightfully earned and deserved. Okay? Hold on, I need some water. Woo, child. It's a crime to not hydrate, honey. Anyways, in this match, these two men were laying it all on the line. And Trick Williams put out every trick he could think of. He even tried to incorporate this bullshit lawyer he had, who was there ringside, causing all types of interference. allowing him to roll up Mike Santana, which didn't work. And then we led to another spot where a lawyer got on the apron again, yelling at the ref and yelling at Mike Santana, to which Mike Santana did the spin the block on him, which took him out, and Trick Williams was able to get off the trick shot. This didn't work, but it took a while for Mike Santana to get this W. He eventually got Trick Williams down, hit him with the spin the block twice, and this led to the pin 1, 2, 3. And Mike Santana is your new TNA championship. Now you have to understand, Mike Santana has been through hell and back. Okay, and for him to now be able to call himself the TNA champion, it is a culmination of just everything he's been through, and then having Conan walk him out there and be able to represent for his people while doing it, and being able to present his daughter with that championship. It meant a lot to him and to his daughter to be there in that moment. It was a very sweet moment to witness, but I'm very happy that Mike Santana got to be champion. He deserved to be champion, and he earned the right to call himself TNA champion. Now, in the end, before he even got a chance to hold the title, Nick Nemeth tried to come out there and claim the spot with the trophy. And in order for you to do that, you have to have the trophy with you. But Elias came to his in a shocking turn of events for me, because I didn't know that Nick Nemeth and them had took Elias out. Elias shows up and busts Nick Nemeth in the head with the guitar. Baby, it was murder she wrote for him. He was laid out asleep. Now, you have to remember there were 2 winners of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Frankie Kazarian was in the ring trying to tell the ref that he wants to try to cash in. But you got to have the trophy in order to cash in. And the trophy was down the aisle. So Mike Santana looked at Frankie Kazarian and basically took his ass out. One clothesline, game over. You understand? Mike Santana finally got to hold the championship that he worked so hard to win. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Bound for Glory. It was a beautiful show. If you missed it, you missed out on a massive treat. It was such a good show. I give it a solid 8.7 out of 10. I think that the only thing I hated about this show was, I don't give a fuck about the races, but I was glad Gia Miller got to get her lick back. But that wasn't a sore spot on the show, honestly. I didn't like the finish to Javon Evans and Leon Slater's match. I hated it. And I also didn't care for Kaylani and Indy Hartwell's match. And I hate that, but I just didn't. I just didn't care for it. It was one of those matches that I could live without, if that makes sense. So that's it. That's all. Woo, Lord. It is hot in this room. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. It just wasn't. It wasn't what I wanted it to be, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense. Pro Wrestling Revolver, where he recently won the Revolver Remix Championship. His association with Revolver and YouTuber too. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy for Mike. Love that for Nick. Me too. Like some Money in the Bank. It is similar to yes, it's similar to Money in the Bank, but I like their version of it better because you can use it for any championship, and they don't just regale it to just the men. They have this match, and men and women can compete in it. So I like the fact that it's a Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, because Nick Nemeth could get it, and he doesn't have to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. He could go after Leon Slater's X Division Championship, or he could go after the Tag Team Championships. He can go after any title that's in play, technically. So I really like their version of it better than the Money in the Bank because everybody uses it for the same thing. And I low key wish that one of the women took that Money in the Bank briefcase and used it for a mid card title and really did something different with it. You know what I mean? Same thing for the men. Like, I get you want to be champion or whatever, but like, let's start making those titles just as coveted. You know what I'm saying? Right. Jordan has won it before. I'm watching my team, Kansas City Chiefs, beat the Lions. Not gonna lie to you, Tyler. Okay, I am not a Chiefs fan, but if they're winning, kudos for them. I just don't. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I surprisingly didn't like the women's belt match either. Like it was weirdly dry. It was extremely dry. It was extremely dry. I didn't like it. Who won the Liana Javon? Neither one of them won. They got attacked by Dark State at the end of the match. Right when Javon was pinning Leon, Dark State attacked. So nobody won the match. Jordan Grace has won before. Yeah, she did win it before. And she became internet champion with it. This is what the international championship was. No, international champion was the digital media championship. They changed that to the international championship. My bad. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was Battle for Glory. Hopefully that Showgirl's expensive future alimony is actually paying well. Okay. Now, listen, I know Monday is going to be very much Seth Rollins with his mouth open, hollering and screaming about how great he is. I don't care. I'm be honest with you. I don't give a damn. I'm probably gonna mute it because I don't want to hear that shit. But we got a Saturday night main event coming for Saturday. Okay. Saturday, they're going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Not this Saturday, Saturday in November. Okay. So this is the next PLE that they're going to be booking for is Saturday night main event. Okay. And it is on November 1st. And they're going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Friday Night SmackDown will also be in Salt Lake City, Utah. That is going to be on October 31st. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a little hint of where I think this is going to lead. You see, I think that Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are going to end up facing off against each other very, very soon. I also think that the rumors about Seth facing off against CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event on November 1st is happening. I also think that he's going to lose because of Austin Theory. Austin Theory is going to show up probably in like a black hoodie or some shit. And then he's just going to show up and he's going to be like, join the Vision because he ended up not being a part of the Messiah with Buddy Murphy like it was supposed to be from the beginning. He ended up not being in there because what Buddy Murphy did with Rey Mysterio's daughter, it was supposed to be Austin Theory, which would have made more sense because Theory was young enough. You know what I'm saying? If that little thing was supposed to happen between Theory and Rey's daughter. Okay, so just hear me out. So I think what's going to happen here is we'll see the buildup of this because CM Punk's going to interrupt. It's either he's going to interrupt or he's going to make it very clear that he's coming back after that championship. First, he's going to have to deal with LA Knight, which more than likely what's going to happen is Adam is going to make one of two matches. It's either going to be a triple threat between Jey Uso, CM Punk, and LA Knight, or it's going to be LA Knight and CM Punk, and they will decide who is going to be the number one contender for Seth's championship. that's how that's probably going to end up playing out. I doubt if Jey Uso is going to be included in that. I think it's going to be regaled to LA Knight and CM Punk. That's just how I feel about it. I think Austin Theory is getting a redemption in the vision due to past of him not getting the opportunity prior. But I also think that, yes, he's going to be a part of their War Games situation. If I was Bronson Reed, I would never go back in that cage again since he broke his foot the first time. But they're crazy. Most wrestlers are fucking crazy. So sure, go off. Don't know how the other War Games team is gonna look. I'm not sure of how that's even going to fucking play out. I'm sure it'll be some iteration of CM Punk and others, but right now the top guys on Raw are Roman, CM Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and then it goes to the mid card where you have Penta, AJ Styles is in the mid card at the current moment. You've got Dragon Lee, Dom, Finn, like that is it's lower on the totem pole. Well, yeah, that's why I said it's Rey Mysterio's daughter. He broke both ankles. It was crazy. I wouldn't go back in there, but he probably is going to go back in there. With all that being said, this is the next event that they're going to be planning for. So just be mindful that I said a few things. Just keep it in the back of your mind. And I hope you guys enjoy Monday Night Raw. Now, I am going to be doing a few things. This week, we're going to be filming for Wrestle Eats. I have to start the process of making some of the stuff ahead of time. And then Wrestle Eats will premiere. I want to premiere Wrestle Eats on the week of the 25th and not this week. So hopefully I'll have it out then. If not, it'll be out by the 31st of October for sure. We're going to be filming the pizza episode for the cheat meals for the wrestling superstars. I'm going to be filming the whole process, how we make everything. We're going to film it all. So we're going to do that. That is coming. Please be on the lookout for Wrestle Eats, okay? And over at NXT, the next PLE for NXT is Halloween Havoc. I suspect there's going to be a lot going on in NXT. Obafemi and Trick Williams still have some unfinished business. There's a new feud on the horizon with Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. Now that Trick is completely clear of TNA, he's going to be going back after that NXT championship, and it's going to be messy, especially how he left Ricky Saints hanging in the last match that they had. So there's that. Of course, Dark State is going to be on a tear, and Javon Evans is going to be looking for redemption for costing him his match over in TNA today. So there's a lot that's going to be going on, and not to mention, Ethan Page has the North American Championship. He has defended it 3 times since they went on their little tour of up here. They were in Detroit, they were in Cleveland, and they were in somewhere else. I want to say it was Columbus. He defended it at all 3 live shows. Not only that, but Javon Evans also wrestled on that show against Obafemi. And there was a match with Omos versus Obafemi here in Cleveland. And I didn't get to see it, and I was so fucking mad. But it is what it is. It is what it is, okay? Now, this is happening on October 25th. And we got a few more things to discuss, and then I will be out of your hair. I promise. Okay? Just a few more things. Not a lot, just a few more. So, over in AEW, Wrestle Dream is coming out on October 18th. This is this Saturday. This is Sunday. And then on Saturday this week, Wrestle Dream will be happening over in St. Louis, Missouri. And you can watch it. I believe you'll be able to watch it on the platforms that they stream to, which I think is Amazon Prime. You could pay for it through HBO Max. Wrestle Dream is happening. There's a few matches on the card. Samoa Joe is challenging Hangman Adam Page. Mercedes is defending one of her titles. I don't know which one. She now has 10 championships, so good luck with that. And there's a match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley, and it's an I Quit match. So there's a lot going on. And then later on, we will have AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts on November 12th. It's going to be the first time you see a women's Blood and Guts match on the card. So this is going to be an exciting moment for AEW. Okay, it's going to be amazing. Okay, TNA has some stuff down the pike as well. I'm not going to be able to show y'all everything, but I'll at least be able to tell y'all the next TNA live wrestling event is called Turning Point. This is going to be a TV special on Friday, November 14th. You're still going to have to pay for Turning Point like you would pay for any PLE, I believe. And then there's Final Resolution, which happens on December 5th. 2025. Turning Point happens on November 13th. They're going to be in Full Sail University for that. And then AEW, to double back to AEW, they have Full Gear on November 22nd. And WWE, of course, has Saturday Night Main Event on the 1st of November and Survivor Series on the 29th of November. And then they round out their year with Saturday Night Main Event. John Cena's final match is on December 13th, the day after my birthday. This is going to be fun. So that's going to be our schedule for the next couple of months. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Don't forget, Wrestle Eats is coming out in 2 weeks on the channel. We're going to be doing cheat meals, okay? We're going to be making a couple of pizzas because the wrestlers love pizza, and we're going to make a couple of them. We're going to show you how to make it from start to finish, answer any and all questions that you have, and we're going to have a good time in this first episode of Wrestle Eats. So make sure you follow the channel for that. The Seth Rollins analysis is coming this week. I want to put it up by Tuesday so you guys can have all the Discord agree or disagree with me, and we're going to finish out and get Becky's book analysis up for the end of the month. And I'm going to be bringing back Reading and Chill. But this time, until Rico gets his book finished, we're going to start a new book. I'm just going to read it to you. You're going to like it. That's the way it's going to be. And that's how we're going to do Reading and Chill. It's not going to be a live video. It's going to be a video that you can play at any time. I just want you guys to be interested in reading. So I'm going to read to you so you can learn to enjoy reading too. Okay? And I will act out the characters like I always do. We're going to have a good time. Okay. NXT is in my state. Let's go. I hope you enjoy NXT. You just said you're not doing Stephanie Vaquer for Halloween, so there's no point in me sending you anything. I can't wait until AEW Wrestle Dream. I hope you have a good time if you are watching, or if you go, I hope you have a great time. Prime and Max and YouTube, pay-per-views, and more for AEW. I thought so. So I was right. Amazon Prime and Max. Oh, and you could pay for it on YouTube. Didn't know that. This pro wrestling will never die. Damn, it's a lot going on, babe. It's a lot going on. Yeah, it's on fire. Hopefully it stays good. Like for the last PLE for WWE was good. WrestlePalooza was sucky. But AEW hasn't had a bad PLE all year from what I've seen. And kudos to them for being able to pull out really fun and amazing shows. So love that for them. And on that note, I will see you guys next time. I appreciate you guys for watching the channel. I understand it is late. Okay, I'm getting ready to go to bed. The hubs is in here sick. We got the humidifier going. It's hot. We're uncomfortable, but we got to sweat out this cold apparently. And with all that being said, I will see you guys on Monday after Raw. Monday Night Raw goes back to its regularly scheduled time at 8 p.m. Standard Time instead of 7. So you don't have to worry about being up there an hour early. For now, everything is staying on the regular schedule from 8 p.m. to like 10:30. So I'll see you guys then. I post commentary every single week. Mondays and Fridays I post commentary for YouTube, for Instagram, but I go live over here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on occasion on Saturdays. So make sure you guys pop up. Make sure you guys give me all my love and admiration like I deserve. So that means I get a rating, you get the comment, and you subscribe, because that's what you're supposed to do. I appreciate you guys for coming over here, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. It's been a long day. Gotta get out of here.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.